Hello and welcome to the University of the Witwatersrand, Wits. Normally I would be addressing you today in the great hall where you'll one day graduate and on the marquee on our famous Wits library lawns. But unfortunately, the pandemic has meant that we've had to adjust things a bit this year. As you start your new chapter at Wits, so do I as the new Vice-Chancellor and Principal. You are my first cohort of new students, and so we begin this journey together. First of all, I'd like to thank you for choosing Wits as the next step in your academic and professional journey. It is a place where you'll find the academic ecosystem and networks to grow and be challenged as individuals, both in and out of the lecture theatre. Wits is known for developing originators, innovators, and critical thinkers who are driven by their curiosity for new knowledge. They are active citizens who can hold their own anywhere, elsewhere, and across the globe. We are a university that sees itself as a beacon of inclusivity and excellence. A student that comes to Wits comes to what I would call the Large Hadron Collider of ideas, the ferment of ideas. We are home to over 37,000 students. Our graduates go on to become leading global figures in business, academia, and civil society. Here are the figures I want to share with you. We are one of the top 100 universities globally to have educated chief executive officers of Fortune 500 companies. And it is this university that produces the highest number of business leaders in South Africa. Indeed, 4 Nobel Prize winners were educated at Wits. As one of the continent's leading research-intensive university, we are home to globally recognized research entities, and some of our researchers and alumni are now at the forefront of the current academic and scientific excellence in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Just to give you a snapshot of some statistics to illustrate this point. Wits hosts the highest number of highly prestigious Department of Science and Technology, National Research Foundation Centers of Excellence, which is the highest number of all in the South African university system. Moreover, we have over 400 researchers that are ranked by the National Research Foundation as being acclaimed scholars, 29 of whom are recognized as world leaders. 30 of our professors are funded through the South African Research Chairs Initiative, another prestigious initiative as professors at university. In terms of global university rankings, we are recognized as among the top 2 in the country, both in Times Higher Education, Shanghai, and even in other ranking systems across the world. Our faculty of humanities is one of the leading on the continent, and we are globally in the top 100 in clinical medicine, public health, and mining engineering, among others. The pandemic, therefore, means that you are having an unusual way to your academic journey with us. But we will strive to ensure that you get the best out of your university experience. I wish you well for your time at Wits and look forward to seeing you on campus in the next coming days and weeks. Welcome to Wits.
Good day. My name is Jerome September and I'm the Dean of Student Affairs here at Wits. It is such an honor and a pleasure for me to welcome you to this great university. You've come through the front door and deserve to be here. Over 70,000 students applied, and here you are, having joined us as one of the cream of the crop. You've come through a very difficult year, and we acknowledge that. COVID-19 has really messed with our lives, with our plans, and with all the things we were hoping that we could get out of life. You've made it through a difficult matric year, and here you are. That speaks to your resilience. It speaks to the power of your dreams. It speaks to everything that a Witsie is about. Welcome to the Wits family. I am delighted to tell you that we have a range of support services available to enable you, to support you, to guide you on your journey to student success. Student success for us at Wits is about more than just academic success. Yes, you must pass. Please, you must pass. But you must also have fun while you're doing so. And you must push the boundaries of what you know, of what you don't know, and grow yourself in the process so that you can be ready for the world beyond this great university. We will walk that journey with you. And myself, as Dean, look forward to seeing you on graduation day with your families. In terms of the support available, of course, there's campus housing and residence life, where there's a vibrant residence community to enable you on this journey. We have Wits Sports. Get involved in the sports activities. There's the Counseling and Career Development Center, Campus Health, and of course, as a first year, there is the First Year Experience Program, which is designed specifically to help you on this journey. There's the SRC, clubs and societies, all designed to help you, to push you, to make sure that you really come into your full while you're at Wits. There's the WCCO, which provides food support to students. So if you find yourself stuck, please reach out. As Dean of Student Affairs, my job is to be your champion. My job is to advocate for you, to be your cheerleader, and I look forward to doing exactly that. We've of course finding ourselves in online learning. And if you are a parent watching this, please be there to support your child. Them studying from home does not mean that they do not have academic commitments. In fact, they have lectures to attend. They have tutorials, extra classes, group work to attend. So if you are able to, please support them. That support could simply be a cup of coffee. It could simply be the occasional checking in. And if you are able to, making sure that they have a quiet study space to participate in the online space. If you're one of those first years who will be on campus, we have a range of COVID support services in place and regulations. So please wear the mask, socially distance, sanitize or wash your hands regularly. We all want you to go through this year safely, but to have fun while doing so and to push the boundaries of what is possible. Welcome to Wits. We really are delighted that you've chosen this great university for the next part in your journey. Witsies are doing incredible things all over the world. And I am sure that when your Wits journey is over, or at least this part of it, that you too will go into the world to do incredible things. You are now part of the Wits family. And Wits family members we call Witsies for life. Welcome.
Greetings to the Chancellor, Dr. Judy Dlamini, the Vice-Chancellor and Principal of the University, Professor Zeblon Vilakazi, members of the Senior Executive Team, the Dean of Students, Mr. Jerome September, comrades and colleagues in the Student Representative Council, the SRC, Banta Batala, Relocheng Bagolo, Batswari Bayina, parents and guardians amidst us. And most importantly, the creme de la creme of the country, AMA 2000, the class of 2021. My name is Mpendulo Xolani Mfega, and I am a two-time graduate of this university, and currently in pursuit of my third qualification. Just as a precursor, I must mention that Wits University received over 74,000 applications for the 2021 academic year, and just under 5,500 of these applicants were given offers, meaning you are part of roughly the 13% that was chosen. In view of the myriad of difficulties faced by students across universities, for some time now, I've been thinking about what I should say to the first years of 2021. This comes with difficulty because in my observation, 2020 has been the hardest year in academic history for any student, let alone matriculant. To cite Langston Hughes, perhaps dreams were almost deferred. And as an answer to my question, I thought I'd tell you not to give up. To tell you you did not come this far just to come this far. To tell you to complete the course. To tell you that those who complete the course will do so only because they do not, as fatigue sets in, convince themselves that the road ahead is still too long, the inclines too steep, the loneliness impossible to bear, and the prize itself of doubtful value. To tell you to never forget why you started in the first place. To tell you to never forget that there are people who are counting on you, some of whom you will never even get to meet. To tell you to never forget where you come from. To tell you to never forget the hard work you had to put in when writing your matric in Kulani Commercial, Mtanzani, in Slelekela Secondary in Orlando, in Noorderland in Polokwane, in Ikukulabasha in Duzuma, and in St. John's and Crawford in the northern suburbs of Johannesburg. With time, you will come to learn that at university we learn more outside the classroom than we do inside the classroom. At this point, I must indicate, at least to your parents, that I'm not encouraging you to skip class. Outside the classroom, you will come to learn that there are many problems faced by your academic peers. Problems that at this point, some of you cannot begin to imagine. As I speak to you now, some of your peers are yet to register due to financial difficulties. Some are homeless, and some are attending this welcome day alone, without family or even friends. I mean, we come from different walks of life, and some of us from no walks at all. And maybe, just maybe, some of us are here to create those walks for our families. Seated among you will be the first generation graduates from some families, students from fatherless households, and some from child-headed families. At this point, I want to direct my attention to those of you who made it here against all odds. I want to repeat, you did not come this far just to come this far. Even then, yes, some of you will fall victim to culture shock. I mean, your friends will come to campus with the latest Porsche or Mercedes or any other car your father probably dreams of. Even then, Mchana, don't fumble the bag also. You are here for the bread. Boroto, isinkwa ndombo, iilwa nawe ndoto. I grew up in Soweto. Where I come from, we are constantly reminded that we are members of the community before we are students. Here on campus, we have parents who assist us in many ways, some of whom are administrators, some cleaners, some gardeners, some plumbers, some bus drivers, or securities. Any injustice against these elders is an injustice not only to us, but to our generational mission. We have an unyielding duty to define our own era as young people. In that process, we must transform and decolonize institutions of higher learning first, then our country. We must stand tall and united, black, white, colored, Indian, Chinese, and every other race that is used to divide humanity in its very sense. In order to address these racial and class divides in our country, we have to ensure that we all play our part. We have to prevent injustice at all levels. As your SRC, we've taken initiative to ensure that class inequalities are defeated in the interim through a campaign to raise 21 million in 2021. By now, some of you will have learned that in this university, we have over 8,000 students that are academically deserving who might not access the doors of learning this year. As the SRC, we are playing our role by raising money for the student who comes from a child-headed family, the student sitting among you who is the hope of an entire village, the hope of a township, the hope and very definition of hard work does pay in our country. I must emphasize that these are students who have performed extremely well academically, even at the height of COVID. Help us help each other here. When we fail, we will fail together. Even then, we will tell the truth regarding both our glory and our failure. We will claim no easy victories. We will mask no difficulties. And God willing, history will pronounce that we did our part. In closing, on behalf of the Wits SRC, I want you to do your part. I want you to stand not only for yourself, but for the student next to you. Not only today, but for as long as you live. Because as legend says, a Wetsi today is a Wetsi for life. I thank you.
Hello, universities. My name is Professor Jason Cohen. I'm the Deputy Dean for the Faculty of Commerce, Law and Management, or CLM as we like to call it. It's my pleasure and privilege to welcome you to Wits and to our faculty. Deans usually get to stand up in the Wits Great Hall on two important occasions in our students' lives. The first would have been now, during your orientation, to welcome you to Wits. The second would be when we call your name at graduation and you walk across the stage to receive your degree. At this challenging time, I'm sorry I don't get to see your faces and welcome you to Wits in the Great Hall, but I am still delighted to have a chance to address you through this video. And of course, I look forward to watching you obtain your degrees at graduation in the Wits Great Hall a few years from now. Let me begin by congratulating you on getting here. You have risen above tens of thousands of other applicants to secure your place at one of the top universities in Africa. And you did this in a time of great uncertainty and stress. You adjusted to new ways of learning, to being isolated from your friends and the people you love, and for many of you, being deprived of your favorite activities like sports and music and drama. Yet, here you are. There is something magical about the setting of Wits University, in the heart of the country's economic hub, that inspires so many of our graduates to do great things. Our graduates have become some of the country's top industrialists and entrepreneurs, litigators and judges. They have become thought leaders who influence public policy, and some have even become the professors who will teach you. And of course, we're also proud of the work of our students while they are here, like our economics students, who consistently excel in the Nedbank and Old Mutual budget speech competition, and our law students, who work within our Wits Law Clinic and continue the proud tradition set by Felicia Kentridge of taking up public interest cases. Our School of Accountancy is transforming the accounting profession of this country, producing amongst the highest pass rates in the SAICA CA exams, with numbers of successful African candidates far in excess of other contemporary institutions. You will learn wonderful things, whether it is in your Bachelor of Accounting Science, or your Bachelor of Commerce, or in your Bachelor of Economic Science, or your Bachelor of Laws. The next few years of your life will be interesting and challenging, and sometimes confusing and sometimes difficult. I cannot guess how your lives will turn out, but if there is one thing I am quite sure of, your careers will follow paths that you cannot imagine right now. You have the advantage of being in the economic, the political, and the technological hub of the country, and at the same time, having the best academic minds to guide you through the next few years. You will learn facts, but you will also learn skills and concepts and engage robustly in ideas. Perhaps more than any other class of students to start tertiary education, you demonstrate enormous potential for great leadership. You join us at a time when the entire world is talking about a reset, because humanity has had to step back, to change our ways of doing things, and to think about what is important. We now have an opportunity to build something new, something better. I want you to also think about what the opportunity means to study here at Wits, at the top university of the African continent. We have great expectations of you. Your leadership role does not just begin when you graduate from Wits. We expect you to be leaders now, and we want you to use that leadership to effect positive change in our society, our city, our campus, in your classrooms, and in your residences. Human rights icon, the late George Bizos, studied at Wits, and he reminded us that the changes we see today came through hard work and struggle, through dedication and commitment to moral principles. I believe we have a moment in history to come back to these ideals. The trauma of 2020 has shown us what is important, but also shown us how unequal the world continues to be. Be the generation of students that lead us into a better future, where we take care of the less fortunate, where we recognize sacrifices and hard work, where we address hunger and poverty and violence and lack of opportunities. If you are that generation, your work starts now. You must be the leaders who tackle inequality. This is without doubt the biggest crisis facing us as our country and as citizens of the world. Take notice of the inequalities you observe on campus. Be generous with material things and in spirit. You must be the leaders that reject sexual harassment and all forms of gender violence. You must turn around the rape crisis in this country. You must be the beacons of hope for vulnerable women, for children in abusive households, for marginalized people. You must be the leaders on campus and in society that speak out and show that you are better. There is an environmental and climate crisis in the world and many parts of our country. This crisis could be much better managed if people changed their behaviors. You are the generation that understands the environmental struggle and the importance of responsible consumption for the protection of our natural resources. We expect you to be the leaders who insist on being ethical in every single decision you make. Be leaders who address the scourge of corruption and insist that business, government, and civil society all act morally to better the lives of all South Africans. And this starts now, with your behavior on campus, with your academic integrity, and in the honest manner in which you will tackle and prepare your assignments. Copying from your friends, cutting and pasting solutions from the internet and passing them off as your own. These are not ethical decisions. Those are not the actions of leaders or Witsies. Let me congratulate you again on getting to Wits, on completing your matric, and overcoming some of the biggest challenges we have seen in our society. Now, I hope your time here with us will feel enriching and valuable. But of course, university is very different from school, and there may be some tough times ahead. You might feel overwhelmed. You might question whether you've registered for the right degree program. You might feel depressed and lonely. And while it is our job to give you the best guidance, teaching, and mentorship possible, it is also our responsibility to give you as much support as possible. Wits has excellent support structures to help you with all of this. We have counseling, we have study support, we have tutors and psychologists and medical people. We have a wonderful team of people in our faculty's Road to Success program and teaching and learning unit who are dedicated to help you navigate the personal and academic challenges that come with studying at university. These resources are at your disposal to make your journey through Wits as smooth and enjoyable as possible. We want you to be healthy and to have balance, to be enriched by your studies, to make new friends and meet interesting new people, to try new activities and stretch your minds. May you be inspired by your time here to make your mark in this world, to continue the proud tradition of our heroic alumni, and to use every opportunity to build a better future for yourselves and for all of us. Welcome to Wits and to CLM. I'm looking forward to seeing you on campus soon.
Well, it's lovely to welcome all of you, the class of 2021, first-year students joining us in the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment. My name is Professor Ian Jandrell. I am the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment. Folk, I'm welcoming you under rather remarkable conditions. Generally, and I want to say normally, I would be speaking to you from the Great Hall here on the campus in Braamfontein. But this year, as you well know, things are completely different. We're also very conscious of the fact that you folk all completed your schooling effectively under online conditions. We are aware that things will never be quite the same again. And you need to be able to deal with that, and we are also dealing with it. What I want to alert you to is the fact that this learning environment is different, but this learning environment can be used remarkably effectively by you, and I would encourage you to do that. But there are a couple of things I want to draw to your attention. The first one is that when you were at school, I think that you spent a lot of time focusing on trying to remember things rather than trying to understand things. In this faculty, Engineering in the Built Environment, no matter what school you're in, we will be asking you to really try to understand things. And the nice thing about understanding things is it takes away that need to try and remember everything. So we are going to insist that you become comfortable with deep learning. The second important thing that I want to draw to your attention is that in this faculty, we produce professionals. Whether you're in the built environment side, in the School of Architecture and Planning, or Construction Economics and Management, or whether you're in one of the 5 engineering schools, Chemical and Metallurgical Engineering, Civil and Environmental Engineering, Mechanical, Industrial and Aeronautical Engineering, Electrical and Information Engineering, or Mining Engineering, all of you will be engaged in design. And the process of design means that you will be taught to figure out what the challenges are and to find ways of overcoming those challenges. And whether it's in the built environment context or the highly technical engineering context, you will be creating new solutions, new designs to address the challenges that we face as a planet. Let me assure you that these are going to be challenging years ahead, but also I am convinced that they are going to be some of the happiest years that you've ever experienced. To make sure that your time here is well spent, I also want to remind you that the faculty has a very, very strong academic development unit. The academic development unit is housed in the building in which you'll find the Dean's office, and it's headed up by Professor Rodney Genga. Folk, I want you to understand that the academic development unit, as well as your schools, is there to really assist you. If you find yourself facing challenges, do not hesitate to reach out to the Academic Development Unit. They will assist you. So to conclude, may I welcome you to the University of the Witwatersrand in this remarkable class of 2021. I do hope that you will get to spend quite a lot of time on campus to explore our laboratories, to explore our studios, to visit the museums, to look at all the interesting and fascinating things that take place on this remarkable campus. I welcome you. I wish you all the very, very best.
Good day. My name is Professor Shabir Madi. I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Health Sciences at the University of Witwatersrand. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you as an undergraduate student and a first-year student to this university and to the Faculty of Health Sciences. The Faculty of Health Sciences is ranked to be among the top 2 faculties on the African continent, in addition to which many of our departments and divisions in the Faculty of Health Sciences are ranked to be amongst the top 100 of all our universities globally. Gaining entry to the University of Witwatersrand, and particularly to the Faculty of Health Sciences, is a major accomplishment. In some of our courses that we offer, there are only 230 posts for which we've had more than 14,000 applicants. So less than 2% of people that have applied, as an example, to study medicine, have been able to gain entry into that particular program. And similarly so for many of the other programs that the Faculty of Health Sciences offers, the percentage of individuals that have gained entry relative to those that have applied has been less than 10%. So for you having achieved this milestone is one of significance. More so, achieving this milestone under the immense pressure that you experienced during the course of 2020 with the COVID-19 pandemics makes it even more of an achievement. I don't think many of us would have appreciated or could appreciate the amount of pressure that you've been under, the amount of work that you've been needed to do, and the way you needed to adjust to be able to ensure that you were successful with your matric results. So congratulations on having gained entry into this faculty. The Faculty of Health Sciences also prides itself in terms of being a leading institution when it comes to research. Included amongst the product of the Faculty of Health Sciences are Nobel Prize winners. Within the Faculty of Health Sciences today are a number of individuals that are recognized as being international leaders in the field of their research. The COVID-19 pandemic indicated and expresses just the magnitude of expertise and skill that exists within the faculty. In South Africa, certainly and globally, the work that's been done around COVID-19 research is pretty much being led by people within the University of Witwatersrand. Becoming a student at the University of Witwatersrand and at any university is meant to be a holistic experience. Included in that is the opportunities of being able to gain access to learning material and to teaching. But also included in that is the type of experience you should expect to be able to go through when it comes to your social engagement, when it comes to your political understanding and growth. Unfortunately, what we face in the year 2021 is one which is less than ideal. For many of you, what is going to be compromised is your ability to start engaging socially, is your ability to start getting involved in student societies. And hopefully that will change very soon. But during this period of difficult transition at multiple levels, including you basically being expected to take on much greater responsibility in terms of your studies, the Faculty of Health Sciences and the university is there to support you in your endeavors. So I wish you all the success during the course of this year and for the rest of your studies. And hopefully in a few years' time, we'll chat again as you become graduates of this prestigious university, the University of Witwatersrand.
Hello and a heartfelt welcome to all of you. My name is Professor Garth Stevens and I'm thrilled to speak to you today as the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities, a faculty that you are now all members of. Let me begin by congratulating all of you for being accepted to study at Wits. This is an outstanding achievement. You are one of approximately 70,000 applicants and just over 1,500 of you have been accepted into the Faculty of Humanities. So give yourselves a round of applause. You are indeed the cream of the crop, especially after having emerged from 2020, in which we saw the global coronavirus pandemic ravage much of the world. I trust that you had all had some respite from the grueling year that was 2020, and that you remain safe and healthy. As a country, we continue to deal with the enormity of a collective loss associated with COVID-19, and I extend my best to all of you who may have experienced illness or loss, either directly or indirectly, over the last year. It is nevertheless indeed an honor and a privilege for me to welcome you all as the best and the brightest minds, as the change agents of today and as the leaders of tomorrow, to this premier institution on the African continent that we know as Wits. As importantly, you are, of course, all housed in the Faculty of Humanities, the #1 Faculty of Humanities in Africa today. It boasts renowned international scholars who will be your lecturers over the next several years, and I encourage you to use them as the fantastic resources that they are. Remember that you will never again find yourself in a place where there is this concentration of so many smart and thoughtful people that you will have access to, so use them wisely. As students, you will take courses in one of 5 schools within our faculty: the Wits School of Arts, the School of Human and Community Development, the School of Social Sciences, the School of Literature, Language and Media, and the Wits School of Education. While we are located over different campuses here in Braamfontein and in Parktown, please know that we are all a single faculty, and I encourage you to spend time on all our campuses so that you have a truly full experience of what it means to be a Witsie and a member of the Humanities faculty. There are wonderful opportunities to explore subjects that you've not been exposed to before, so be creative with your choices and stretch your mind with new ideas. The Humanities is a place for the development of robust thinking and debate that is done critically but respectfully and with tolerance for diverse views. It is a place to think deeply about the future of the world, how we deal with the challenges facing us today, and how we think about transforming our societies to give rise to a set of imagined futures that are yet to unfold. So what does a humanities student in the 21st century have to be thinking of? Well, today, population growth, more porous borders and migration will enable the promises of globalization like never before. Alongside this, rapid urbanization will yield megacity complexes and will change the nature of living. New possibilities for rethinking the future of work, economics, democracy, and sustainable environments and ecologies will also emerge. Access to technology in the 4th Industrial Revolution will generate unprecedented forms of connectivity and social relating. And of course, Africa will continue to generate its own forms of culture and knowledge in the world. But we are also likely to see the second scramble for Africa, raising concerns about ethical leadership, uneven economic development, unemployment, socio-political conflict, gender violence, racism, xenophobia, and so on. As Africa's population is expected to double over the next 3 decades, the pressures on young people like yourselves in particular will increase, with mental health problems contributing most significantly to this burden in Africa. Technological access will have a profound impact on the nature of learning and on our social interactions, but may also create greater forms of isolation. And let us not forget that while we had all hoped that 2021 would bring with it a changed set of circumstances around the COVID-19 pandemic, we will still have to contend with the behavioral dimensions of disrupting the transmission chain of the virus as we wait for the much anticipated rollout of vaccines globally. These are the challenges facing students in the humanities today. We all live in a challenging but exciting moment when we have the opportunities to change our futures for the betterment of all. And that is my challenge to all of you. Fulfill your potential as the best and the brightest, and engage these challenges head on so that you may lead us as the next generation. But as students, you may also experience some difficulties in your first year as you adjust to university life. Many of you will be concerned about finances. We will do our best to support you through various initiatives at the university, so seek out these opportunities. Use support services such as the campus health and wellness facilities, the Counseling and Careers Development Unit, the Mtonjeni Center, the Writing Center, tutorials, academic support initiatives, and many others. Remember that this is a place that you're cared for. Make use of your friendship circles for support and to quell your anxieties. Turn to your house committees when in need, and use your school councils and SRC to voice your needs, wishes and desires, as they are your duly elected representatives. Speak to your lecturers and always feel free to engage me. Life is what happens when you are planning something else, so expect some bumps in the road this year. Do not equate your marks with your self-worth and value that you have to humanity. Marks are only one aspect of university life, albeit an important one. While much of your year may be online, remote and virtual because of the COVID-19 pandemic, be an active citizen of this university. Engage, join clubs and societies, participate in the cultural and intellectual activities and life of the institution, and open your minds to the new possibilities of what it means to be a citizen in the 21st century. I want to end by wishing you all the best of luck for 2021 and beyond. Most importantly, I wish you and your loved ones health and safety during these times. And I hope that this will be the beginning of a fantastic experience of university life for you. So seize the opportunities before you and have a wonderful time here as a Witsie. Thank you, be safe, and welcome once more.
Welcome, Witsies. I'm Nithya Chetty, the Dean of Science at Wits. Today, we meet virtually under these extraordinary circumstances. Well done to you, the metric class of 2020. You have shown unprecedented resilience and grace during this generation-defining pandemic. For you to have been accepted at Wits into the science faculty is a clear indication of your hard work. A degree from Wits is a passport to the entire world and will open doors for you in incredible and unimaginable ways. You need only look at what our alumni over the past 100 years have gone on to do to convince yourself that Wits does indeed give you a significant edge in your future professional life. As a first-year student, entering your classes online is definitely not what you planned for. COVID has turned the world, your matric year and your first year, into university upside down. Overnight, the knowns in our lives became unknowns, and things unknown such as COVID became known. Variables shifted. Perhaps Socrates was right when he said, "All I know is that I know nothing." Whatever degree program you've registered for in science, know that all of them can be intellectually rewarding and stimulating pursuit for yourself. This depends on how you take forward your studies. Engage with your lecturers, read up as much as you can on your subject matter. Ask all kinds of questions and challenge yourself. That is what a degree in science is all about. Long nights, difficult moments, moments of reckoning, stimulating moments, and without a doubt, fulfilling moments. A university education is expensive. Treat it as an investment in your life. If you make the right decisions, you will benefit for a lifetime. Sadly, the opposite is also true. If you make the wrong decisions, you will struggle, and you will start your young adult life poorly. All schools in science are actively involved in pursuing research at the highest international standards. It is within this milieu of excellence that we develop postgraduate students up to the highest levels, including at the PhD levels. And this is where your journey begins as a first-year student. We come to university to get a degree, and at Wits we want you to go as far and as high as you possibly can to secure your future. We all want to live a materially successful life. Buy a house, drive a nice car, live a comfortable life. But we also want you to ask the question, is this what life is all about? Is this all that we should be aiming for in our lives? Beyond our own well-being, I believe that we have an obligation to make a better place for all. There's grave inequality in this world. it is not in our interest, it simply can't be, as a human race, for us to continue to turn a blind eye to this insidious thing of human deprivation that we see all around us. I doubt that our university degrees should be seen simply as a passport for us to succeed selfishly, but I think it should be seen to be a means for us to give back to society selflessly. And as an educated citizen, I hope that you will make an effort to make this a better world for all. And as Dean of Science, nothing else brings more joy to me than when I see our graduates go on to make positive contributions to the society in which we live. Good luck. My team and I are here for you.